Hello friends, you are on the right channel. Now let's go over all the latest news from the world of mixed martial arts. Let's go. Let's start with the UFC ratings. Today the UFC rating was updated after the recent numbered tournament in Las Vegas, where Israel Adesanya defeated Jared Kannonir in the main event of the evening, and Volkanovski defended himself from Max as part of the trilogy of their confrontation. Despite confident champion defenses, neither Alex nor Adesanya moved up in the P4P rankings. Kamaru Usman is still the top fighter in the rankings regardless of weight class. But Max, after the defeat, went down to 8th line, allowing Dustin Poirier to rise to 6th, and Sterling to take 7th line. In the pound-for-pound rankings, Jon Jones lost 2 more lines due to inactivity, which allowed Yuri Prochaska to pass him. Now Jones holds the 11th line, and Prochaska is already the 9th. At featherweight, Josh Emmett is now tied for 3rd with Yoel Rodriguez, and Arnold Allen is tied for 5th with Calvin Kattar. Middleweight Alex Pereira, after an impressive victory, broke into the rankings and took 6th place. And Sean Strickland fell from 4th to 7th. Whitaker and Vettori are now tied for 2nd. Brunson is 4th. And Costa is 5th. Jones explains WHY chosen fight against Miocic instead of Ngannu. Former light heavyweight champion Jon Jones is looking to make his long-awaited heavyweight debut this year. Most likely, Jones' first opponent in the new weight class will be former heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic, and the fight should go for the interim title. On his social networks, Jones, answering questions from fans, explained why he considers the fight against Stipe Miocic to be much more important than the fight against Francis Ngannou. According to Jones, a victory against Miocic will show him better in the heavyweight division than a victory against the one-sided Ngannou. At the moment I am looking forward to the fight against Stipe Miocic. I want this fight and I think it will prove much more. Fighting a pretty one-sided fighter who just had knee surgery. I don't know. I think a win over Stipe will say a lot more at this point, Jones said. Jan Blachowicz challenged Kamaru Usman for a fight. We previously shared a behind-the-scenes video of Jan Blachowicz and Kamaru Usman having a staring battle right backstage at UFC 276. Then the guys laughed and parted ways, but the idea of a possible fight between them remains real, at least that's what the former light heavyweight champion's footage suggests. Jan Blachowicz. The Pole Jan Blachowicz tweeted a photo of the stare-down with Kamaru Usman and challenged the champion in his own way. So you say people call you the Nigerian nightmare monster. I understand. And I hunt monsters. And it doesn't matter how scary they are, Blachowicz wrote, adding the hashtags #JanWitcher and #LegendRaPolishPower. Volkanovski response to Sterling statement that he can submit IT bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling reacted to Alex Volkanovski's victory over Max Holloway at UFC 276 and stated that he could easily submit a champion from another weight category through submission. My honest opinion. I think I can easily put Volkanovski on the ground and make him submit after the submission, Sterling tweeted. Alex Volkanovski during a press conference was surprised when he heard from a journalist that Volkanovski wrote such a message on social networks. Aljamain wrote this. Seriously? Well, let him write, it's his right. He has his own division, where he still has a lot of work to do. His main merit is only that he managed to defeat Peter Yang. Let him write, Volkanovski replied. Deiveson Figueiredo has changed thought to go from flyweight. Reigning flyweight champion Deiveson Figueiredo was outraged last month after the UFC's decision to fight Brandon Moreno against Kai Kara France for the interim division title. The Brazilian argued that he could not accept the fight due to injury and promised to move up to bantamweight if the situation does not change. Now, in a new interview for the Schmo, the champion said that his problem with the promotion has been resolved. He has no plans to move to another weight class and will gladly fight against the interim champion upon his return. Over the past few weeks, some details have emerged that I cannot publicly discuss. But the fact is that the documents that were supposed to prove how serious my injury was were not properly provided to the UFC management. So they just didn't know, they didn't have proof of my injury. So this situation happened. That's why they added an interim title fight. Now I understand them. I'm going to 100% recover and come back to defend my belt as soon as I can fight again, says Figueiredo.